Well, hello there, Skywinders. Welcome back to another episode of Skywind 007. On today's episode, we have a projector that I bought from Walmart. It's an RCA and it's powered by Roku. So everything you get from Roku, like a Roku TV, you're going to get from this. So we're going to be testing this. I know there must be a lot of reviews on YouTube about this same thing. So I want to focus on visibility, not just reviewing the device, because there must be a ton of reviews on YouTube. But I want to focus on the visibility. I'm going to use a lumen, like a brightness detector, so you kind of get an idea of how dark and how bright your room can be for you to be able to use this thing right here. It says it's compatible with games, DVDs, and streaming devices. So if you're going to get this, you're also, whoops, I almost broke my sign. If you're going to get this, you're also going to need this right here. This is a wall-mounted projection screen. So this one claims to be 120 inches, which is good. So, and I mean, this is very good. If it actually works, it's better than getting a TV, because the bigger TVs I've seen on Walmart, I think they were 85 inch. So you're not going to get this size, 120. Of course, there are pros and cons. This only works in the dark, like a TV can work in the bright lights. So we're going to see how all this comes out. So let's open it up. Okay, so this is it right here. I'm happy to say that this brings everything, the instructions, the power cord. It has a Roku, believe it or not. I wasn't expecting that. So you get a free Roku with this. You don't have to buy that separately. So that is amazing. I was not expecting that. Of course, you get the with a Roku, you need a remote control, which is right here, which is great. You're supposed to get it, even though this is not. It's actually this one right here. This is the Roku remote. Again, it comes with a Roku, and that's the remote right there. Of course, this is the remote for the projector. I wish it was just one. I wish I could come up with something like that being one, but it's not. And it does have one set of batteries, so I'm assuming that the set of batteries is for the probably for the RCA remote. Let's see what we got in here. Yeah, it's for either one, but you're still gonna have to get the batteries for the other one, because I don't see them anywhere. Let me look in the box. Nope. And they do give you the HDMI and the charger cable. So this right here on the left is for connecting the RCA. Remember, this goes with the projector, and this goes with the Roku. I meant to say Roku. I said RCA, I meant to say Roku. This right here goes from the Roku right here to the back of the projector. Okay, so before we power this up, let's go around it. So on the left there's nothing. On the right there's the lens and some grills. Maybe there's a speaker back there, I don't know. On the right side there's more grills and nothing else. Maybe there's a speaker there. On the top you're gonna have this right here. This is for focusing, I believe. And then you have your controls over here, but you're gonna have a remote, so you're not gonna need this anyway. And on the back you have this right here. You have a sensor, audio out, video in. You have the two HDMIs that are, one of them is gonna go to the Roku, and you have a USB and a DC in, that's the power. And then of course you have more, you have a HDMI 3 and USB 2, so you can use either one. Over here you have this door where you can clean the filter if you want. If it gets dirty, make sure you keep that clean. And let's see, try to put it back in. And that's it. On the bottom you don't have anything as far as I can tell. You just these pegs, rubber pegs, and down here, and it can also help you tilt the projector like that. I don't know if you can see it, it's at an angle, but if you move it all the way in, the angle will be gone. Like that, there's no angle anymore. And of course, if you have a tripod or something, you can put it here. So that's how it would look on a tripod if you're gonna do that. So I'm using this little tripod just for demonstrations, but normally you would use something different, like a very tall adjustable tripod. Okay, so right here we have a room that we never use. It was meant to be a guest room, but anyway. So here's our screen. And I don't see any folds. Maybe one little tiny microscopic. You really have to zoom in to see it. There we go. But I'm sure that won't show up once you're watching the TV or the presentation. And there's a lot of echo in this room for some reason. Yeah, but this is how it comes out. It's huge. I don't think we're gonna use the whole screen. I'm anticipating just using like maybe half of it, but like I said, it is huge. Like that's the corner of the room. That's the other corner of the room. One thing you gotta watch out for is this kind of thing. This is for the plumbing, so you can't put anything there. So that's why you see this right there. And of course, here is the projector. I put it on a tripod. We're gonna plug it in and we're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so it's not nighttime yet. As you can see, if you go outside, it's still bright. But this is a current right there. It's very nice and opaque. So I try to look for a lumen meter app on the App Store, but I couldn't find a decent one. So we're gonna forget about that. So this is what we got. So that's the screen right there. So let's power this on. And it's coming on. And you can hear the fan. As you can see, it does not cover the whole 120-inch screen. So it's more like I would say 75-inch, maybe 70-inch, I don't know. But it just depends on the size of your room. So I can't push this further back. If I could send it back and the screen would get bigger. But you can't make it any bigger than that. On the wheel, you have two wheels. One of them controls the tilt right there, as you can see. And the other one controls the focus. As you can see, it gets blurry right there. So let's make it sharp. Okay, so before we power on the Roku, I do want to let you know that there are some settings that you can adjust if you want. I'm not going to do that because I'm not interested in doing that right now. But you do have that option. So let's power on the Roku. Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of blurry because it's dark, so that's why you see all that noise. But that's the Roku right there. It's kind of hanging there and it's plugged in. And it's also powered by the same device, so you don't need an outlet. You don't have to plug it into the wall. You can just plug it into the projector and it gets its power from the projector. And I know it looks blurry, but it's not that blurry in real person. It's just my camera is having a hard time. Maybe if I turn on the lights, let's see if that helps. Yeah, that helps, but now you can't see it. You can't see the colors correctly. So anyway, let's carry on. So you can change. This is how many. This is just a Roku right here. I'm not gonna review a Roku. It's fairly standard, very easy to use. So let's just say English. Oh, it has a nice sound, by the way. It's gonna ask you to update, so just say okay. Okay, so let's go to Netflix. So remember, you have to have an account for all these things right here. But the odds are you're gonna be using Netflix. Like that's what most people do. There we go, so it's playing. So I'm gonna try to talk over it and maybe, wow. And I know it looks blurry on the camera, but in person it does look a lot better. So definitely does look nice. And I'm gonna be talking over it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. And let's see if we can speed through this. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there for a moment. And I want to give my before I give my evaluation on this thing, I want to add a Bluetooth speaker and see if I can figure out how to do that. So let me stop for a moment and go get that speaker. Okay, so here's our speaker. It's a $130 Sony speaker, so it should be good. And by the way, the sound that is coming out of here is very, very nice. So you don't actually need the speaker. I'm just being, fancy. But you do not need a speaker. It has a very good sound coming out of this projector. So let's try to connect it. So let's press power. It's gonna connect to something. But that's obviously not the projector because we haven't done that. So let's press that again. So Bluetooth pairing. So over here, let's look for Bluetooth. So let's go to audio. Bluetooth setting. Let's turn it on. So it's searching for a device. So the SRS XB33, that's our Sony device. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's now ready. So let's get out of here. Okay, so let's play a movie and see if it actually sounds good. Okay, so I'm gonna put it over here, the Bluetooth speaker, and I'm gonna keep talking over it so I don't get a copyright strike. And definitely it does sound very good. And like I said, everything does look better in person than it does on my camera. But it sounds nice, very nice. Let me see if I can fast forward. I need a lot of sound. Here we go. Maybe over here. This guy's about to get shot. Yeah, let's forget about that. I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. How about here? There we go. That sounds cool. Okay, so everything looks good. So it's still daytime. We're gonna wait for the night. Okay, folks, so it is nighttime out there. If you look, it's fairly dark. I mean, it is nighttime. That's just a light pole. Let's close that. There's no light coming in. And I've been watching every single kind of movie that I've been able to. I mean, just for 5 minutes. I haven't been watching the whole movies. But I've come to the conclusion that if you're gonna get this, the only way you're gonna really enjoy it if outside is completely dark. There's no light coming in. So not even a twilight, nothing. So that helps, number one. Number two, you do have to mess with the settings a bit. And what I mean by that is that, let me turn on the light. What I mean by that is that you have to go here in settings. And then you got to go on picture mode. And click on that. And then you got three options. You got standard. And I know you can't really see it. Let me try to zoom in. You got standard, dynamic, and mild. So you're going to want to leave it on mild. Once you're there, you can get out of the settings page. And that's the best kind of picture I've been able to get from this. And like I said, you want to do this when it's completely dark. Don't even think about doing it during the day, and don't even think about doing it when there's a little bit of glow coming in, like a twilight. It's not going to be for that. This is nighttime only. It's just not bright enough for the daytime, unless you can figure out a way to board up the windows and board up the that little light coming in. If you can put a tape there and you can make this room completely dark, then that might work. Okay, so it is the following day, so it's definitely very bright out there. It's a sunny day. I believe it's 1 p.m. We're in Texas. So we're going to see how it works in complete brightness. So let's power it up. So this is definitely not going to work when you have sun coming in. You can barely see anything. Absolutely not gonna work with sun coming in. So let's close the curtains. See if that makes any difference. So now you can still watch it. You can still do something with it, but it's not great. So let's remember it's 1 p.m. out there. So let's go to Netflix. And I keep getting impressed by that sound. So last night I was using the I used the Sony speaker, but right now it's just going through its own speaker, and it's very, very good. Okay, so let's play that. So, well, that's black and white. Alright, I was hoping for something with color. Let's forget that. Let's do dragon, el dragón, the dragon. Okay, this is like adult movie, so I gotta be careful. But either way, you can tell that this is not gonna work out. It's just not bright enough. I mean, you can do it if you want. You can still watch it, but it's not my favorite. It's just not my favorite way of seeing a movie. It's like all washed out, so I wouldn't recommend it. So this is definitely only for the nighttime. Let's power it off. And this is the sound, by the way. If you can hear it right here. I already did a measurement. So 1 meter away from it, it'll be 40 decibels. So listen to it. Let me get right next to it. Of course, you wouldn't be right next to it like that, but this is what you can expect. It's about 40 decibels at 1 meter. It's just like running a fan. It's no big deal, and I actually like it because it makes me feel like I'm in the movie theater. So let me power this off. Okay, folks, so I think we have reached the end of this review, and for the most part, I did like it. I didn't see anything terribly wrong with it. I do want to point out a few things. Number one, it's only for nighttime. It is not for daytime. You have to have a completely dark room. I mentioned that before. Number two, the fan, there is a little bit of fan noise. It's no big deal. It doesn't bother me. Actually, I do like it because it makes me feel like I'm in the movie theater. I remember going to the movie theater back in the 80s, and that's how it sounded like. So that's what you can expect, a tiny bit of fan noise. And number three, you're gonna have two remotes. You're gonna have the remote for the Roku and the remote for the projector itself. So as far as image quality, it was decent given the price range. So what I mean by that is that for an $88 projector, you get what you pay for. Now, is it great? No, it's not great, but it's okay. Can you find better? Yes, you can find a lot better. If you want better, I would go for the $200 range. For the 4K, this is just HD. When they say HD, what they mean is the 720p. So it's not gonna be 4K. And of course, if you want really high quality, I would go for either a Sony or Samsung. And pushing the $500 range. And then if you want something even better and super bright so you can use it during the daytime, I would go for a laser projector. I believe those cost like $1,500. So it depends. The image quality goes with the price. The more you pay, the better the image quality in general. So you just got to watch out for the specifications, and that's going to work out that way. So overall, I'm happy with it. Do I recommend it? Yes, but just keep in mind that it's a $88 projector, so the image is basic. It's 720p. Number one. And number two, it's only for the nighttime. Keep that in mind. Only for night. You cannot use this during the day. Now the big question is, should you get this instead of a TV, a regular TV, like for example an on TV from Walmart, like a 65-inch TV? The answer is absolutely not. This is not a replacement for a TV, because of the issues that I mentioned. It's only going to be used at night, number one. And number two, you're going to have to put that projector somewhere. And ideally, you're going to have to put it on a tripod, so you're going to have to buy that. You're also going to have to buy the screen that you're going to have to put on the wall. You're going to have to take down the pictures that you have on the wall and put the screen there. So it's definitely not a replacement for a TV. So just keep that in mind, unless you only occasionally watch TV at night, like a movie once a month, twice a month, but only at night. So that's my conclusion as far as rating. Given the price, I'll give it 4 stars out of 5. I think that's fair given the price. If this was more expensive, if it was a $200, if I would have paid $200 for this, that would be I would give it a very low rating because it's not up to the price. But for $88, yeah, I guess I can give it a 4 stars out of 5. And in general, I would recommend people to go for something more expensive. This is very, very basic. So thank you for watching. Subscribe and thumbs up.